The unexpected gift. Sarah Blackwood stared at the containment pod with undisguised disgust. "This is my reward for saving half your fleet," she asked Admiral Alex with barely contained anger. The military officer shifted uncomfortably. "Captain Blackwood, the Council believes this is appropriate compensation for your heroism during the Centauri siege." Sarah ran her hand through her short dark hair, examining the translucent cylinder where a humanoid figure floated in suspension fluid. The being inside had delicate features with skin a soft shade of purple and long flowing silver hair that drifted like seafoam in the liquid. "I expected credits, maybe a medal, not a sentient being packaged like cargo," Sarah said, her voice low with restrained fury. "This isn't right." Admiral Alex cleared his throat. "The Council recovered her from space pirates. She's extremely rare, possibly the last of her species. The Galactic Protocol allows for rescued beings to be placed under protection of proven guardians." "You mean ownership." Sarah spat. "Guardianship." He corrected, handing her a datapad. "All the documentation transfer is complete. She's your responsibility now." After the Admiral departed, Sarah approached the pod, studying the alien woman inside. With a reluctant sigh, she activated the release sequence. The fluid drained and the pod hissed open as the being inside took her first conscious breath. Sarah stepped back, giving her space. "I'm Sarah Blackwood, captain of the starship Horizon," she said, softly. "Can you understand me?" The purple-skinned woman blinked eyes that were startlingly silver like liquid mercury. She nodded, once her movements graceful. "Despite just awakening from suspension, my name is Aya." She whispered, her voice melodic, with an accent Sarah couldn't place. "Am I your property now?" Sarah winced. "No, you're not anyone's property. You're my passenger, until we figure out what to do next." Sarah led Aya to her ship, a sleek but battle-worn cruiser that had seen her through countless skirmishes. The crew, consisting only of an engineering bot named Arya, greeted them with mechanical enthusiasm, captain returning with guest. "Welcome, welcome," Arya chirped. Rolling forward on its treads, Aya flinched, hiding behind Sarah. "It won't harm you," Sarah assured her, "just overly friendly." Later in Sarah's quarters, Aya sat perched on the edge of a chair, examining everything with cautious curiosity. "Why did you accept me?" she finally asked. "You seem angry about it." Sarah paused, from programming their flight path. "Because leaving you with those bureaucrats seemed worse. They'd study you like a specimen. I may not like this arrangement, but at least with me, you'll be treated with dignity." Aya's expression softened. "My people were peaceful scholars before the extinction," she explained. "I was captured by collectors who sold me to pirates. When your military recovered me, I expected more imprisonment." "What do you want, Aya?" Sarah asked, meeting those mercury eyes. "Freedom," Aya whispered. "Safety." "A purpose." Sarah nodded. "I can offer you safe passage and protection while we figure out the rest." She hesitated, then added, "I won't keep you against your will." Something shifted in Aya's expression. The fear receded, replaced by cautious hope. "That is more than anyone has offered me in a very long time." As the Horizon broke orbit, Sarah felt something unexpected, a fierce protectiveness toward this mysterious woman thrust into her life. And perhaps for the first time, since the war, she felt something beyond mere survival stirring in her heart. The stars stretched into streaks of light as they jumped to hyperspace, leaving behind the military outpost and setting course for the distant frontier, where both women hoped to find something they'd lost long ago: freedom. Breaking barriers. 3 days into their journey through the Andromeda sector, Sarah found Aya standing motionless in the observation deck, her slender form silhouetted against the vast starscape. Her purple skin seemed to shimmer with an inner luminescence, catching the light of distant nebulae. "Trouble sleeping?" Sarah asked, leaning against the doorframe. Aya turned, her mercury eyes reflecting pinpoints of starlight. "My people don't require much sleep," she explained. "We process energy differently than humans." Sarah moved to stand beside her, noticing how Aya no longer flinched at her proximity. "You know, I still don't know much about your species," she said carefully. The files they gave me were mostly redacted. A shadow passed. Across Aya's delicate features, the Astrani were once spread across 3 solar systems. She said, her voice barely above a whisper. We were scholars, historians, keepers of knowledge. We believed in preserving the stories of all civilizations. What happened to them? War the Drakari invasion. Aya turned her gaze back to the stars. They wanted our ability. Ability. Instead of answering, Aya raised her hand toward the wall display. The screen flickered to life without her touching it, scrolling through star charts at incredible speed before settling on a small unmarked planet. Sarah stared. You're telekinetic. It's more complicated. Aya said, my people could interface with technology, form connections with energy systems we were living. Conduits? That's why I'm valuable, that's why they hunt me. The ship's alert system suddenly blared to life. Arya's mechanical voice echoing through the corridors. Captain, unidentified vessel approaching fast. Scanning signature matches known bounty. Hunter craft, Sarah cursed. Someone's tracked us already. She turned to Aya. Stay here. Racing to the bridge. Sarah slid into the pilot's seat, hands flying over controls. The scanner showed a sleek interceptor gaining rapidly. Its design was distinctive, expensive, the kind used by high-end mercenaries. Open communications, Sarah ordered. The view screen flickered, revealing a middle-aged man with sharp features and calculating eyes. Captain Blackwood, he said with a thin smile. I am Dr. Chen, I believe. You have something that belongs to my employer. I don't know what you're talking about, Sarah replied, keeping her expression neutral. Dr. Chen's smile widened. The Astrani female return her, and you'll be generously compensated. 1 million credits, directly to your account. Sarah felt her pulse quicken but kept her voice steady. There's no one here but me and my droid. Sorry to disappoint. Don't be foolish, Captain. Dr. Chen's voice hardened. The Astrani is the last of her kind. Her genetic memory contains the collected knowledge of an entire civilization. My client has spent years tracking her. Sarah cut the transmission with a sharp gesture. Area. Evasive maneuvers. Prepare the jump drive. She returned to find Aya still at the observation window, her posture rigid with fear. He's come for me, she stated simply. Dr. Chen has hunted me across 12 systems. Well, he's not getting you, Sarah said with fierce determination. Not while you're on my ship. Something shifted between them. In that moment, a bridge forming across their differences. As the horizon accelerated away from their pursuer, Sarah found herself making a silent promise to this strange, beautiful being who carried the weight of an entire civilization within her that night. As the ship hurtled through hyperspace, Sarah awoke to find Aya sitting at the foot of her bed. I could leave, Aya whispered. At the next port, draw them away from you. Sarah sat up, her dark hair tousled from sleep. Is that what you want? No, Aya admitted, her voice breaking. But I don't want to bring danger to you. Sarah reached out hesitantly, her fingers brushing against Aya's luminescent skin. Then we face it together, she said softly. I'm not giving you up, not to him, not to anyone. Their eyes met in the dim light of the cabin, and for the first time since their meeting, Aya smiled, a small, gentle expression that transformed her face and sent an unexpected warmth spreading through Sarah's chest. Together then, Aya whispered, her mercury eyes shining with something that looked remarkably like hope. Pursued through the stars. The asteroid belt of the Viridian system loomed before them, a chaotic maze of spinning rocks and ancient mining equipment. Sarah gripped the controls of the horizon, sweat beading on her forehead as she navigated through the treacherous field. He's still on our tail, Arya reported. Interceptor closing distance shields at maximum. Behind Sarah, Aya stood with her hands pressed against the ship's secondary systems, her purple skin glowing faintly as she interfaced. Directly with the power grid, I can give you more speed, she said, her voice strained. But the engines are overheating. A blast from Dr. Chen's ship rocked them, sending Sarah lurching against the controls. We don't have a choice, she shouted. Give me everything you can. Aya closed her mercury eyes, her connection with the ship deepening. The horizon surged forward, engines screaming in protest as they twisted through the asteroid field. Clever. Dr. Chen's voice came through the comms. But futile. You can't outrun me forever, Sarah. The Astrani belongs with those who understand her true value. Another hit this one, catching their port stabilizer. The ship spun wildly, alarms blaring throughout the cabin. Critical damage. Arya announced. Engine. Failure imminent. Sarah spotted a massive hollowed asteroid ahead, an abandoned mining station carved into its center. There, she directed, guiding the failing ship toward the dark opening. They crashed inside the cavernous space, the landing rough, enough to throw both women to the floor. Emergency lights flickered on, bathing the bridge in eerie red glow. Are you hurt? Sarah asked, crawling to where Aya had fallen. The alien woman shook her head, silver hair cascading around her shoulders. The ship, she whispered. Damage assessment, Sarah called out. Multiple systems failure. Arya responded. Engines offline, communications damaged, life support functioning at minimal capacity. Sarah helped Aya to her feet, their bodies close in the dim light. We need to hide, she said. Chen will be looking for us. They moved deeper into the abandoned mining station, finding shelter in what once had been the control room. Dust-covered consoles lined the walls, remnants of an operation long since abandoned. He won't stop, Aya said softly as they settled into their temporary refuge. Dr. Chen serves a collector who believes my genetic memory contains technology that could make him the most powerful being in the galaxy. Sarah reached out, brushing a strand of silver hair from Aya's face. Is it true, do you carry such knowledge? Aya leaned into the touch, her luminescent skin warm beneath Sarah's fingers. Yes, she admitted. But not weapons, knowledge, history, art, the collective wisdom of my people, there. Faces were close, now closer than they had ever been. Sarah could see flecks of starlight in those mercury eyes, could feel Aya's breath mingling with her own. I won't let him take you, Sarah promised, her voice barely above a whisper, outside the asteroid. They knew Dr. Chen was searching, systematically hunting his prize. But in that moment, hidden in the darkness of a forgotten outpost, two beings from different worlds found something unexpected in each other's eyes, a connection that transcended species and circumstance. A beginning. The revelation. In the dim light of the abandoned mining station, Aya's purple skin glowed with subtle bioluminescence, casting shadows across the walls as she sat cross-legged on the floor, her mercury eyes closed in concentration. What are you doing? Sarah whispered, kneeling beside her, connecting with the station's dormant systems. Aya replied without opening her eyes. There may be a way to mask our presence. Sarah watched, fascinated, as the alien woman's glow intensified, faint patterns appearing across her skin like circuitry. You're beautiful, she murmured before she could stop herself. Aya's eyes opened, meeting Sarah's gaze with unexpected intensity. In my culture, beauty is found in connection, the sharing of minds and spirits. Is that possible? Sarah asked, her voice low. Between us. Instead of answering, Aya reached forward, pressing her palm against Sarah's chest over her heart. My people can share memories, emotions through touch, she explained. Would you allow me to show you? Sarah nodded, unable to speak, her heart racing beneath Aya's touch. The connection bloomed between them, a rush of sensation as Aya's consciousness brushed against hers. Sarah gasped, seeing flashes of ancient cities filled with purple-skinned beings, libraries of knowledge spanning millennia, celebrations of art and science, a civilization at its peak, then darkness, invasion, death, and finally, Aya alone, carrying the burden of her entire species within her genetic code. When they separated, both were trembling, tears streaming down Sarah's face. You carry all of that inside you. It is why I must survive, Aya whispered. Not just for myself, but for everything my people were, everything they knew. Sarah took Aya's face in her hands, overcome with emotion. We'll find somewhere safe, I promise you won't be alone anymore. Their lips met, hesitant at first, then with growing certainty. Two beings separated by the vast gulf of different evolutionary paths, finding connection in the universal language of touch and desire. Later, as they lay together in the makeshift bed, Sarah traced the luminescent patterns on Aya's skin. "We can't stay here forever," she said softly. "Chen will find us eventually." "I may have a solution," Aya replied. "When I connected with the station, I discovered something. An old emergency beacon on a secure military channel if we can activate it." Sarah sat up. "We could call for help." She kissed Aya again briefly, fiercely. "Let's do it." New beginnings. The emergency beacon pulsed steadily into space, its signal encrypted on a channel that hadn't been used in decades. Sarah and Aya huddled together in the control room of the mining station, listening for Dr. Chen's movements outside. "Someone's coming," Aya whispered suddenly, her mercury eyes wide. "But it's not Chen." The sound of engines reverberated through the asteroid, different from the high-pitched whine of the bounty hunter's interceptor. Deeper, more powerful, military-class cruiser, Sarah. Identified, but whose? Their answer came minutes later when armored figures breached the entrance led by a tall, imposing woman with commander insignia, Captain Blackwood. She called, "I'm Commander Kai. We received your distress signal." Sarah stepped forward, keeping Aya behind her. "How do I know you're not working with Chen?" A younger man in engineering gear stepped from behind Commander Kai. "Because we've been tracking that snake for months," he said. "I'm Cooper Tech Specialist, the Alliance. Wants Chen for weapons trafficking." "We're here to help," Commander Kai assured them. "Both of you." Sarah felt Aya squeeze her hand, a silent question. "Can we trust them?" Before Sarah could answer, alarms blared throughout the station. Proximity. "Alert!" Cooper shouted. "Chen's back with reinforcements." What followed was chaos. Laser fire exchange of shots. Chen's mercenaries against Kai's soldiers. Sarah pulled Aya through the station toward Commander Kai's ship, ducking behind cover as explosions rocked the asteroid. They were nearly to safety when Dr. Chen himself appeared, blocking their path. His weapon trained on Aya. "She's too valuable to lose," he snarled. "Step aside, Captain." "Never." Sarah positioned herself in front of Aya, raising her own blaster. A shot rang out, but it wasn't from either of them. Chen crumpled forward, revealing Cooper standing behind him, stunner still smoking. "That's for stealing my research," he muttered. Aboard Commander Kai's cruiser headed toward the outer colony, Sarah held Aya close as they watched the mining station recede in the view screen. "It's over," she whispered. "Not over." Aya corrected, a smile playing across her lips. "Beginning." Commander Kai approached them. "The Alliance would like to offer you both sanctuary," she explained. "There's a research outpost on Proxima Colony. They're doing important work preserving endangered knowledge." "Knowledge," Aya repeated, her mercury eyes brightening. "Like my people's." "Exactly," Cooper interjected. "They could help you share what you carry safely on your terms." Sarah looked at Aya. "Is that what you want?" Aya nodded, then turned to Sarah, their foreheads touching in the intimate gesture they had come to share. "With you beside me." In the observation lounge of the Alliance cruiser as they sped toward their new home, Sarah and Aya stood wrapped in each other's arms. Their reflection shimmered in the glass, human and alien together against the backdrop of countless stars. "What happens now?" Aya asked, her purple skin glowing softly in the starlight. Sarah smiled, kissing her gently. "Now we write our own story," she whispered against Aya's lips. "Together." As the ship jumped to light speed, carrying them toward Proxima Colony and the promise of sanctuary, Sarah knew that what had begun as an unwanted gift had transformed into something precious beyond measure. A connection that spanned worlds. A love that would help preserve the legacy of a lost civilization. And perhaps most importantly, two souls who had found in each other what they thought forever lost: a home.